folks, how you doing? Captain Mark the Kid Coach Chiefs Outdoors, Miami Boat Show, but not this. We're going over to the Seahunter factory right now. Captain Chris, we're going to see what's happening with the 33 Seahunter. Let's go. Well, there you have it, Captain Chris and the boss, El Jefe, Ralph. We've been searching, but technically not me, Bunny. He's been searching for a little upgrade to our Tuna game right now. And we're looking for a boat for boys, all right? Not this blinged up stuff with cushions and sinks and couches and stuff like that. We're out there looking for a boat that's going to kill tuna, all right? We don't want curtains, sinks, and other BS and couches and stuff like that, all right? What that does is takes up space, all right? Everybody knows how you can go to the bathroom on the boat offshore. And you could also wash your hands with freaking freshwater wash down if you choose to, all right? If you're that crazy. What we were looking for, and I say we, but really Andy, we had a lot of input what was necessary to be on that boat. One thing that we loved about Seahunter was the Kevlar hull. This video does no justice to the build of this boat. It's absolutely ridiculous. The size of it is immense. This is a 33-foot tournament. All right, this is what we're gonna be fishing this year for tuna offshore. It's gonna be pretty interesting. All right, 400 Mercs. It's 1,200 horsepower, right? That's quick math here. It's just a beast. The thing goes, I think, north of 70-something miles an hour, which is insane. And you know Bunny. Bunny likes either slow or fast. 2 speeds in his book. It's either idle or freaking off to the races. That's the other thing. We want to cover ground. We need to hit the canyon. These are 100-mile runs for us. We got to go out there. We got to drag some sterling way out in the canyons, inshore, offshore. But my point is, this boat here has 400 gallons of fuel. Lots of boats don't have the fuel capacity that you need to go out there and go offshore, fish all day, and have the confidence to get home on fuel. We're not big fans of bladders and bombs on the boat. It's just not going to happen. People do it. Rock out with your I don't care about that. You know, that's your choice. But it's much nicer where you can just fill up 400 gallons, go offshore, fish all day, troll all day, do whatever you want to do, and get back and still have stuff in reserve. That's another thing that brought us towards that Seahunter. The build quality, everything is Kevlar in that boat. It's pretty impressive. The beam is enormous. Big boat for your money. Is it a lot of money? You guys do your research, design your own boat. And that's the cool thing about Seahunter. Every boat's different. Every boat is very custom to the specific buyer. That's what's cool about it. Can you bling the balls out of these things? Absolutely. If you want to go blingy and you want to sell it to the missus, go for it. But what we're looking for is something that is just bare bones and is fishable, all right? We throw bean bags on there. That's how everybody travels. You guys know what out there is tuna, guys. It's bean bags, and that's a wrap. Get the bean bags, throw them up top. I don't care what you say. You can put a lounger on the boat. You can do whatever you want, but there's nothing more comfortable than a bean bag. Matter of fact, here's one of my bean bags. Right there, another bean bag hanging up. I'm a fan of the bean bag. What am I going to tell you? So when this video says in search of the ultimate tuna boat, I think Bunny nailed it right in the head here, all right? We're going to go in. We're going to meet Captain Chris in the office, whatever he calls it, and then he's going to take us into the showroom, then into the shop. Come on, let's go.
You got to see the showroom? Yeah. So yeah, this is just the entrance, and then come back. All right, so this is our showroom now.
What is this?
So this is a 33.
That's a 33. Jeez Louise. Oh, yeah, if this gives any perspective to the size of this boat, this is a 33-footer.
This boat's actually available. We built it to have it for the boat show season and to sell it during the boat shows. So this one's not going to the show because we just didn't have enough room. But this boat's actually available. So you see the Seakeeper ride.
All right, say right now, I think the tour's over. Let's grab this thing and get out of here.
Yeah, so this one weighs 14,500 pounds, and then it's going to hold 400 gallons of fuel.
So it's after the 15,500 pounds. Or it's
that
15
is with fish ready.
Okay,
Right.
so
Full of fuel.
subtract out the fuel. Now is the whole, so it's fiberglass with carbon fiber underneath it?
Okay, so
The
yeah,
structural-
the structural, you're gonna have fiberglass. So you'll have fiberglass. You'll actually have some structural foam there also to give it some beefiness, right? Like so when you step right in the middle of it, and then we'll do that last layer of carbon fiber to finish it.
Jeff, get in there. Literally, seriously, get in there.
Yeah, I'll hold it for you.
Just go in there.
Guys.
Well, you're not a 200-pound tuna, but
But isn't, like, you could, it's very strong, right?
Yeah.
Like, you could both, literally both could go in there. I mean,
So, like if you jump in from here straight onto that flat deck, that
It's
deck's
like-
never gonna give.
it doesn't even flex, right?
These are completely
because it's
foam filled boat.
under?
So it has support throughout it, right? It's not just a liner, a box with nothing under it. Right. the boat being completely foam filled. And as we walk around today, I'm going to show you that at what point the guys are filling this all with foam.
And that makes every one of these boxes
Hold ice.
basically
Yeah.
a cooler.
Yep.
Holds ice better, all that, not just sprayed on the outside.
Yeah, that's pretty when you open up your hatches, you know.
It does no justice how big this thing is.
So that's
It's
the
enormous.
Hey, look how many of us are standing up here. And we
It's
all have our own
unbelievable.
space.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I feel like they're gonna fall up. Which is
that another box?
That's a live well.
It's a live well / storage. We actually don't even, we've gone away from using this as a live well.
Yeah.
Now it's one big box.
Yeah.
And then we put a drop-in divider.
Yeah.
To separate the two.
That would be
So
awesome.
let's say you catch a big tuna, you
Yeah.
pull that center divider, and it's a big box.
Well,
Is that what's
Or
happening
we
now?
separate it, yeah.
We talked about that.
This is a dead space at this point. Like 95% of people aren't using it as a live well.
Yeah, I can see that.
The most I've ever used it is when I put my kids in the boat and I turn it on and it's a jacuzzi.
As a pool, I was gonna say.
When we're cruising around, I'm going fast. I'll
You
fill
can
it up.
literally,
that
that
they're
makes
not,
perfect
So they're
sense.
hanging out and they're not bored just cruising around if we're going down the intercoastal and just going on a boost cruise, let's say, you know? So it's cool. Like your day box, essentially, like when everybody brings their backpacks, you usually put them in here. This is one of the only boxes that isn't insulated throughout the boat itself. So people dump ice in there and then it
sweats.
burns it up. Yeah, and it sweats
Yeah,
inside. So we
I
just
hate
tell you
that.
guys, just
Yep.
don't put ice in there.
Yep.
You know, just use this as a storage box for the day, or you can use it as your dry food storage, for the day, and then in the
Yep.
back do your drinks and cold stuff.
This is the way you want it anyway.
Absolutely. Yeah, so you just see how this
That goes on the
inside
front. It goes in the front now. Yeah, I see
It
that.
locks everything in there, so nobody can see
So
anything.
what was
and can't get
happening
damaged.
is that everybody was getting annoyed with the door, that clear
God,
plexi
yeah.
open, and then what happened is the edge of it was right in your center line.
Absolutely. If you
Yeah.
get wave, you're
You were-
gonna
you were
destroy
over
your
or under
nose.
it.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
plus visually. Yeah,
So what we did is we went away.
That
This goes inside of the console.
I saw that. Yep.
Or if you're at the house,
Yeah,
just leave it at the house.
Yeah, leave it at the dock.
Even better, like one less thing to lug around. You know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a dock box on the dock, so we
Yeah.
just drop it in there. That's why I put the covers and the whole
Yeah,
thing.
man. So
This
that'd be-
this was a concern of mine, Chris, but it's really nicely done. It's.
These guys do a really nice
I
job.
thought
with the eyes and
it's very tight, obviously, and it's a very. It's not. I wouldn't say this is isinglass, right?
It's isinglass.
It is isinglass, but is it a thicker isinglass?
Yeah, it feels like an
Yeah.
acrylic.
That's what it is. Yeah, almost looks like
It's
acrylic.
thick. And it doesn't like flop around, and then we put this here, so it just stays firm. You know,
I
when
like
the boat's
it. I
running.
like it a lot. Yeah, all tracked out. It's not riveted into the
No,
powder
no.
coat where it F's the powder coat up. Really nicely done. All right, Place. What I like about this on this boat particular, there's no sink, there's no bathroom. Now, if you see here, I'm going to just kick my foot forward here, and I'm just going to show you how much depth is there. I'm saying it's about 2.5 feet. Perfect spot for the life raft. All right, now let's see what else is in here. You got your fobbers up top here. Right up there. How you doing, Chris? You got your panel right there. Behind door number 1, what we have, it's the old C-Star system, 2 systems. Then you got your fuel panel. I keep saying fuel panel, but it's a fuse panel. All right, I don't know why I say that. Those are your 3 ignition switches for your 400 Mercs. And then below here, we're going to go inside and take a peek. Nicely done. How you doing? And they're nice and clean. Everything seems to be really tightened up nice. Heat shrink. I like it all. I really like it all.
All right, so we have a fob system in our boat, and what it is if you're using the boat multiple days in a row and you don't want to be messing with your battery switches every single time, what you do is you just hold this power button and you shut the boat off as you're walking away. So I'm gonna hold it down. Okay, you hear the beep. You hear that same beep from your boat, and it's gonna shut itself off. Okay, so you heard everything just shut off. It gave me a double beep, so now the boat's off. Next morning, you're coming to the boat, you're walking up to it, or you're sitting there drinking coffee in the backyard. You can power the boat up, and then also I can turn on my spreader lights. I can turn on my under gunnels. I can turn on my live wells,
Oh, really?
so you can get your live wells pumping. So by the time you get in the boat, live wells are
When you
pumped.
transfer.
Yeah, and you're ready to transfer bait. You're walking into a boat that's lit up. You're not going to trip and fall and
Yep.
hit a corner or stub a toe.
Yep.
So a cool little system. You saw this is the old style switches. We have a new style like you saw up there.
Yes.
But the key is I wanted to show you the digital switching.
I always worried about those with water getting them in them and
Yeah.
junk getting in them.
Yeah.
When they're not vertical, horizontal, or whatever
Yeah.
you want to call it, this way mounted.
Yeah. So we went away from those. As you saw, now they're rubber covered.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter how much water you spray on them.
Yep.
But the nice part is you have your manual switches, but then you also have the digital switching, which it just takes a minute for it to load. This is what you would see on your boat, right? So let's say we're on the navigation screen. You're like, man, I gotta turn on some lights. You would come over here to the bottom with the quick press, because I usually put it on the bottom. It'll switch over. Then you're gonna have some quick settings. So like I'll have show pumps, and then all my pumps, if I hit that button, all my pumps will show up. So my washdown pump, my freshwater washdown, my all my bilge pumps, everything are going to show up in like little buttons like this. So here we have it set up for the lights to the bar. So my overhead lights will turn off. And see I'm turning off the liquor lights, the underwater lights, the bar signs. But yeah, so that's all the lighting system. And then you come over here, you can see all the different, I'm sorry, wrong one. You hit this one, this is all the switches that are on this system itself. On the boat, it's a lot more. You know, this is just to be able to show you guys a little bit of what we can do. I like to do this just to match it. I think it's cool. I can change the main colors of it to like match your boat. Let's say like I like the red. So it looks, you know, tactical.
That's gear queer. Yeah.
But yeah, cool little, and then it'll be your boat, right? So instead of having the 3 boats, it'll be like your 33 in the same color that it is.
Oh, wow.
So cool little, you know, little touches.
When you went to all the lights and stuff, I saw something about drink holders. Were they?
Oh, that's for the bar.
I
We don't put them in our boats.
was like, wow.
Lit drink
We are getting really bougie.
Just want to show you the digital switching. The digital switching has been very good to us. We have a super good relationship with MDI, the company that does it for us. And if we've ever had any issues, they usually just send their engineer right out to the boat.
And it's complete crossover to go into the manuals on the off chance.
Yeah, so let's say this shuts off, it's still gonna work on your manual. And the whole point, you know, everything that we do, well, first of all, Ralph, the owner of the company, came from the aircraft industry.
Yep.
So he always has that mentality of, you know,
Redundancy.
you're coming out, you're falling out of the sky, essentially,
Yeah.
kind of deal.
Or redundancy.
Yeah, the redundancy. So the same thing with the switching
This is
system.
100 miles offshore, same as falling out of the sky.
Exactly.
In my mind.
Yeah, and the same thing with the quality of the build of the boat, right? The foam fill, the Kevlar throughout the hull itself. The key is the boat is always going to get you home. God forbid, you know, you guys are running home and you do strike something. It's happened. We have people that have done it crossing home from the Bahamas. Okay, you're going to strike a hole in the boat. That's going to happen. But what's going to happen is you're going to lose the resin and the fiberglass. But that Kevlar is what's going to hold this boat together. So you will take in water, but because of the foam, you're going to have the flotation. The pumps are going to pump the water out, and you're going to get home on your own bottom. And that's the key, right? You don't want to have to stop, have somebody come, throw pumps in the boat and try to save you. You can still run the boat home. So that is a huge factor in going with us compared to some of the other manufacturers.
Gives you peace of mind.
100%. And knowing that when you're sending your husbands out there, maybe you don't go.
Exactly.
You know they're always going to come home safe.
Big time.
Dang it! Ow, Mrs. Kid, that hurt my feelings. That guy don't have any. Little does she know, I cancel my insurance policy after that little comment, all right? Let's get back in the shop, Dick.
We're at lunch right now, it's quiet. Yep. So first part of the shop here that you're seeing is our powder coating shop. These are all pieces that are going to get put into boats eventually. This is our piping that we use for the T-tops. Okay, if you can see, one's really thin, and then one's much thicker. Okay, this would be schedule 40, and this would be schedule 80. The schedule 80 is what we use on all our structural stuff. Most companies are using schedule 40 on all their structural stuff. So if you see, if sometimes you're running around on a boat, you hit a wave, you see that whole T-top shutter. Ours, back to our mentality of building a boat, overbuilding, strong. Same thing with our piping. Schedule 80 is double the thickness. So just that same mentality of overbuild, strong, strength, and everything else will come. You know what I mean? Shoot the powder here, and then they bake it there. Cool. So this is where the hatches are finished. So when the hatches come out, they have the carbon fiber, you know, throughout. But this little seam here is unfinished. So the gentleman comes in and he finishes that seam, and then he paints it black. So you get a nice finished product when you open it up, and everything just all matches with the black. So you see how it's unfinished here? Yep. So he'll come in and he'll putty that so there's no crevice, and then he'll paint it black. So imagine you opened it up and we didn't finish it, this is what you would see.
Yeah.
So it's all the little minute details, right?
Yeah.
When they pop them, you have a crease that goes all the way around, as you can see. So what happens now, they'll be there, the guys will move them over, and you see they're flipped over. And what they're doing is they're actually taking that whole seam out. You'll never know it was ever there. They'll come in, they'll paint it, they'll sand it, they'll shine it, and you'll never know that there was a seam there at one point. If he's got it already puttied, he's probably about to paint it, and then he'll sand it and shine it, which is what the guys have finished. The finished.
So is there a
product
crease in
almost
here
done.
somewhere?
It was right here.
I see, okay. Yeah.
This one has it on the bottom.
I got you.
Okay, some of them have them going down the middle. Like these consoles have them in the middle, but they're already gone.
Got you.
By the time they finish shining it, it comes to this side, which is where they finish the consoles, which they're gonna put in a liner. I'll show you. I love all this.
Yeah, this
I
is...
love boat building. So this is a liner. So this is what the finish. When you were standing inside of that console, this is your head was over there. But you see, it's all shiny. And
What do you
finished.
mean? This is inside the
This is inside
under
the
center-
console. This
I
gets
got
dropped
you.
in.
I got you. I know exactly what you're saying. Yes. Yes.
So we didn't just like paint it and call it a day. We actually drop a finished piece in there.
So
and
this is
sandwich it
this is
together.
that forward part that's deep.
Correct.
Yeah.
Where
okay.
she was looking at the storage. So,
Yes. Yep.
Right. So over here, you eventually grab this and drop it in here. Okay.
Hello.
So you'll never see this ever again. This part where all these rod holders are, and the
got you.
hoses and all those different things.
It'll all get sealed. with
They'll all
that
be
liner.
sealed. You'll never see it again.
Yeah, this is the center console upside down.
Correct. Yeah, exactly. 100% right. So this is where that liner will end up dropping in, and that's your finished piece. So you have a nice finished piece in there. Everything's painted. So when you pop your head in there, there's no unfinished product. Everything has some type of gel coat on it and finished. At least it looks nice when you are working inside of it. They put this little paint on, so when they come and sand, they make sure that they never miss one part of the area they're working.
That makes
This
sense.
tells them, okay, I haven't hit this yet, let me finish it. So they'll sand, and then the next thing we'll do, then they'll start buffing and bringing the shine out. But the key to sanding is what it's doing is taking away the orange peel. You know, that rough feel, you want it to be nice and smooth, you know, like a baby's bottom. Left side here is station 7. These boats are almost done. They're almost ready for sea trial. You can see they're finishing up electronics, you know, interiors are going in, you know, isinglass, you know, all these things are being programmed right now. They'll be pulled out, they'll get their first, you know, touch of sunshine, and then from there they go to the water. So what we're gonna see is we're gonna be boats almost done. We have boats that are coming out that there's no boat there. You're literally just seeing drums of, you know, material. So he's doing a door. Our boats, as you can see, they don't come out of the mold with a door.
Yeah, you said you come up
Okay?
in.
So he actually, this is the magician, this is the artist. He's the one that builds the doors for us.
There he goes. You guys show himself.
Yeah.
There he is.
That's him. So you see he's gone in, he's cut the whole door out, and now he's re-fiberglassed in. As you can see the whole side here, you can see there's a layer of Kevlar in there, structural foam, and then more fiberglass. Okay, that's the whole side. And then this is the actual liner. We can pick a side, you know, and then he takes about 3 weeks.
So
to
that's
build this
interesting
door.
that you can do it after the fact.
Yeah, and you see he built with this angle here, it allows no water to get shot into the boat.
Correct.
A lot of people, when they hit the wave,
Yeah.
if they have a flat surface there, it shoots water, and I've been on a that did it to me.
Yeah.
But here, it stops the water, and then on top of that, it has a lip. If you look, there's a pretty big lip around it, and that also stops the water from coming in.
Yeah.
I've been in some really rough seas, and Ralph's, the owner of the company, his cat, and we every once in a while, when we were in, when I tell you,
Bad.
solid 8,
Yeah, yeah.
there was a little water that dripped in, but there was no
So that's
woof, you know, like a woof. And as it goes down the line, we're picking parts. The guys are picking parts out. They're shining parts out, and they're putting them into the boat. So some boats, like this one, radar's still in there, there's still stuff missing, and they'll come grab it, and then they'll end up putting it in the boat. So eventually, hopefully, we'll see your name there if you don't take the one with the motor being hung. He's doing that rubber. We bend it off.
Second.
That's a 35 hull. Parts. I like the cage with the parts.
And the whole build process is in there, including the layouts for the electronics that we put together ourselves. So usually what I'll do is like I'll put together what I normally do or what I feel that works well. I'll send it to you and be like, this is what I normally do. Give me your thoughts, and then you will go back and forth, and we'll move things around, and we'll put it exactly to what you like. The key is we're building you a tool to be able to go out there and get fish. So I want to dial in every
Yeah,
single
it's not a-
piece
yeah,
exactly to how your vision and your hands work.
Yep.
You know, so each boat, each console layout is different.
Yeah.
That's why they expect us to get it in early, so they can start pre-planning it already.
So this right here is already pre-laid out by. Is this a new boat?
This
that
is for the
somebody's tried?
gentleman, right?
So
okay.
that's how he's laying out his.
Right. So this is his whole electronics layout.
That's pretty sick. Yeah. I'll blank out anybody's name.
Yeah, just blank out
I
the
will.
name.
I'll blank out
Yeah.
everybody's name.
Cool. Yeah, and this one too. This one doesn't matter.
Yeah, but that's interesting. So you guys obviously had some interaction of how we wanted that laid out.
Oh, man, there's-
you guys shooting back and then.
There's one thing that we do well is communicate. There's
Yeah,
so
that's
much
what I hear,
communication
yeah.
between us.
Yep.
We talk a lot, and that's what happens. We end up becoming buddies because we talk so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
we're texting back and
I
forth.
always end up fishing with some of my clients at least 4 or 5 times.
May want to come get a big eye.
I'm in.
Come to New York. New York's.
I will jump on a plane so fast. Just climb up here. I'm gonna get up on the ladder. I'm gonna
That's a 45V hull.
This is a 45B hull. You can see the thickness right in front of you there, the thickness of the transom here. Not that area, because that's not super strong, because it's not hanging, but right in front of your chest there.
No, right here, Andy.
Okay? So this is where the brunt of the weight of the engines is going to be held. Most boat builders are only going to use 2 pieces of what's called cusa board. You see, they got 2 pieces already put together, so that it's being chemically bonded, and then also be screwed in. You see it right here, the screw heads. So what we're doing is going to put 4 pieces. Now he'll put a little bit of resin, drop another piece, bolt it in, and it'll end up being 4 pieces total. Cusa board is like your marine grade plywood, but there's no wood in it. Right.
Why they build it so much, according to those guys, is because you don't have to worry about the weight of a repower. You can repower Seahunter whatever you want. The transoms are built for the future.
The center tank, the tank is gonna go right in that big hole there, and then he's sitting in the console area. That's the console. Over here is the fuel tank.
This is the fuel tank right here.
Yeah.
Jeez.
The fuel tank and also the water tank.
Wow.
Okay, so we're at the point where they're almost ready to foam. All this area out here will be full of foam under there. This area will hold foam, and then around, of course, around the tank will be all foam, so that thing doesn't move. On top of the fact that we're putting fiberglass to hold it in, it's gonna be foamed around it. Fully foam stringer. There's no wood in the boat anywhere. You see how these little black dots, these little black caps, those are little rubber caps? Those are the holes they drilled to foam.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so they drill a hole. It's all closed up. It's not gonna hold any water. And what they're gonna do is they're gonna stick this long tube in there, and then they're gonna slowly open it, and they're gonna work it out. And now they're pulling it out so it expands, and then they put some more, expand and pull some more, and eventually they'll cap it. Now what they do is they'll put the liner on, and then they'll redo the whole sides again.
Very meticulous. Meticulous and organized. Fishing. I'm very impressed.
All right, I'm Captain Chris with Seahunter Boats. I want to thank you for spending some time with me today here at the factory. Got to do a walkthrough, jump on the 33, and go through the boat with some awesome people. Just a great day today. Thanks to Captain Mark with Kid Code Cheese Outdoors for spending some time with us here at the factory.
Captain Chris, my man, all right? That man right there knows boats, and he also knows how to sell boats, all right? Very impressed with him, the factory, the whole 9 yards. The whole crew is amazing. Definitely a smart play by Andy and Tiff to go over to the factory and take a peek at how these guys operate, what they do and make their boats. It makes that decision a lot easier when you're starting to spend a couple of shekels, all right? The only warning I have for you guys out there watching this, if you go take that factory tour, be prepared to write a check, because you're going to want to buy one of those boats, no question about it. They're coming out with a few new cats. Andy right now is doing a couple of change orders on that boat that he just purchased. He's going to change the open array to closed array because he wants to be able to throw beanbags up there and stuff like that. Also a couple of armrests. Nothing crazy, just a couple of change orders. That boat will be coming up north, I think in beginning of April. Pretty exciting stuff for Andy right now, right? We look forward to showing you this boat in action right now. It's going to be real impressive. We're going to do more canyon runs, more big eye runs, just a bunch of stuff that this boat's capable of doing. Not that the other boats aren't capable of doing, but this boat is particularly capable of doing it, all right? It's going to be rigged out to the beams. Second station up on the top there. We got to do a little NAUTEVA. We got to bring NAUTEVA on this thing and do a little NAUTEVA pad right there. NAUTEVA's not just all about decking. It's about accessorizing, all right? And not accessorizing your purse, but accessorizing the boat where there are certain things that you need that type of protection. And NAUTEVA, those are the guys to go to when you want to do that, all right? All that stuff is in the link below. The connect to Seahunter Boats is in the link below. I want to thank Captain Chris for having this day. He did a hell of a job showing us that stuff. Obviously, he did his job too, because what happened, Captain Chris?
They bought a boat!
All right, now let's close this bad boy out with Seahunter behind the scenes, the men at work.
Try to kill a Seahunter today.